Further directing your attention to approximately 6:11 p.m., at that time, did you receive a dispatch to go to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury?
I did.
And do you recall approximately where you were when you received that dispatch?
I was at the Lincoln Street Fields in Duxbury.
And so how long did it take you to get from there to 47 Summer Street?
7 to 10 minutes.
And did you go to 47 Summer Street?
Yes.
Further dart your attention to approximately 6:11 p.m. At that time, did you receive a dispatch to go to 47 Summer Street in Duxbury? I did. And do you recall approximately where you were when you received that dispatch? I was at the Lincoln Street Fields in Duxbury. And so, how long did it take you to get from there to 47 Summer Street? 7 to 10 minutes. That's the start of a police call that ended with a question no parent should ever have to ask. But before we go deeper into what the documents actually show, make sure you're subscribed to Law and Crime Insiders. Because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence. Now picture a winter evening in a quiet suburb. A marked cruiser pulled up to a house indistinguishable from its neighbors. The gate on the left is already open, like a stage door inviting a man into a scene he will never erase from his memory. Officer has Sir Stephen Halston to the backyard and sees a woman lying near the window well, her head toward the house. He's about to walk into a sequence of rooms where the only sound left is the echo of a scream.
Yes.
And what did you see when you arrived there?
When I arrived, it was just a house. There was a gate open on the left side of the house.
I'll show you a few exhibits that have already been marked. Exhibit 32. And Exhibit 33. Is this the house you responded to?
Yes.
And showing you Exhibit 34. Is that the left side of the house?
It is.
And did you go to 47 Summer Street? Yes. And what did you see when you arrived there? When I arrived, it was just a house. There was a gate open on the left side of the house. Show you a few exhibits that have already been marked. Exhibit 32 and Exhibit 33. Is this the house you responded to? Yes. I'm showing Exhibit 34. Is at the left side of the house. It is. And Exhibit 35 is the gate that you went in depicted in this exhibit. It is. It was just a house. That line lands with the weight of a door slamming shut. On the stand, Hall delivers it flatly, the way cops are trained to talk about scenes. But the exhibits tell a different story. The gate, the left side of the house. A backyard. Backyard to become a crime scene, though the woman on the ground was still breathing. Conscious, moaning, cuts to both wrists and the left side of her neck.
Who was on the ground?
Miss Clancy.
Is that Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
And do you see her in the courtroom today?
I do.
Could you point to her?
No issue with ID. Record may reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Thank you. Where was she positioned?
She was on the ground, if you were looking at the backyard on the right side.
Showing you what's been previously marked as Exhibit 38. Is this the back of the house?
It is.
And showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 37. Do you see the area where the defendant was when you entered the backyard?
Yes.
Do you mind standing up with the court permission and just pointing that out to the jurors?
It's in this area.
And if the record could reflect, he's pointing near the window well to the far right side of the back of the house.
And who was on the ground? Miss Clancy. Is that Lindsay Clancy? Yes. And do you see her in the courtroom today? I do. Could you point to her? The record may reflect the witness has identified the defendant. Thank you. Where was she positioned? She was on an argument. She was overlooking at the backyard. Showing you what's been previously marked as Exhibit 38. Is this the back of the house? It is. And showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 37. And is there an argument? Do you see the area where the defendant was when you entered the backyard? Yes. Would you mind standing up with court permission and just pointing that out to the jurors? And if the record could reflect, he's pointing near the window well to the far right side of the back of the house. Record may reflect that when you saw her in that location, do you remember where her head was? Her head was toward house, and where were her feet? Pointing out away from the house, Lindsay Clancy lay with her head toward the house, toward the basement window where, minutes earlier, a nightmare had already taken its final shape. But Hall didn't know that yet. He saw cuts that weren't actively bleeding, no rush to apply pressure. A woman drifting in and out of consciousness, moaning in pain but unable to speak. Then her husband, Patrick, said he was going inside to check on the children.
Here on your radio.
Dispatch said that he couldn't wake them up.
And did you know what they were talking about when you initially heard that?
Not really, no.
Did something then catch your attention?
Yeah, I heard a loud scream from inside.
And could you tell where it was coming from?
Just inside the house.
And the screaming, was it words or just sound?
It was just a sound.
When you heard that screaming, what did you do?
Myself and Officer Josephine ran towards the slider and entered into the house.
And when you entered into the house, do you remember what room you entered into?
Into a kitchen.
And when you entered into the kitchen, could you still hear that screaming?
No.
Shortly after Clancy went inside the home, did you receive a call on your radio? Yes. And what did you hear on your radio? Dispatch said that he couldn't wake them up. And did you know what they were talking about when you initially heard that? All right, not really. And did something then catch your attention? Yeah, I heard a loud scream from inside, and could you tell where it was coming from? Just inside the house. And the screaming, was it words or just sound? It was just a sound. When you heard that screaming, what did you do? Myself and Officer Josephine ran towards the slider and entered into the house. And when you entered into the house, do you remember what room you entered into? Into a kitchen. And when you entered into the kitchen, could you still hear that screaming? No, we could hear he was talking, but the screaming was done. When you said he was talking, who was talking? Patrick Clancy. He couldn't wake them up. It's a phrase that enters the transcript like a splinter. Dispatch relays it over the radio. Hall doesn't even register what it means. Until a scream tears through the house. Not words. Just a sound. A sound that tells every cop on scene that whatever is inside is already beyond intervention. Hall and another officer run through the slider, into the kitchen, and down the basement stairs.
Do you mind if I?
You don't recall?
Yes.
I have no objection, Your Honor. We need to read further. I've never looked at this before.
Do you recall him saying, I can't wake them up, I can't get them up?
Yes.
Into their argument. And did you hear what he was saying? God, can I do you mind if I yo? You don't recall. Yes, do you recall him saying, I can't wake them up, I can't get them up? Yes. And do you remember his demeanor as he was saying that? He seemed during argument. He seemed, there it is again. He couldn't wake them up. Patrick Clancy's own voice, not a radio crackle this time, but a father unraveling. Hall heads toward a back room past exercise bands tied to a closet door. And then he sees what no amount of training prepared him for.
Just past the door on the left side, there was a body of a young child.
And do you remember what position the child was in?
He had his feet towards the door and his head towards the wall.
And was he on his back or his stomach? Or...
He was on his back.
And do you recall what he was wearing?
He was shirtless. I believe he was just in a diaper or underwear of some sort.
And showing you
Thank you.
Exhibit 93, if you wouldn't mind just pointing out where you saw his body. Record reflect he's pointed to the area of the yellow exercise band.
It may reflect that.
And sir, that yellow exercise band, did you see that in that position when you saw the body of the child on the floor?
Yes.
Exhibit 94 was with that position. Sir, did you later learn that child's name was Dawson Clancy?
I did.
And can you describe his physical appearance when you saw him?
He was discolored, like a bluish purple.
And what did you see when you got to that back room? Just past the door on the left side, there was a body of a young child. And do you remember what position the child was in? He had his feet towards a door and his head towards the wall. And was he on his back or his stomach? He was on his back. And do you recall what he was wearing? He was shirtless. I believe he was just in a diaper or underwear of some sort. Showing you Exhibit 93. If you win argument. If you wouldn't out where you saw his body. Sir, for the record, he's pointed to the area of the yellow exercise band. The record may reflect that. And sir, you had no exercise band. Did you see that in that position when you saw the body of the child on the floor? Yes, Exhibit number 4 was that position. Sir, did you later learn that child's name was Dawson Clancy? I did, and can you describe his physical appearance when you saw him? He was discolored like a bluish purple. The choke up doesn't appear in the transcript, but you can hear where the air leaves the room. Discolored like a bluish purple? A little boy, shirtless in a diaper, lying on his back in a workout room. The yellow exercise visible in the photo becomes a silent marker of the exact spot where a life ended. This is the moment the camera should hold on that exhibit. Because Hall's voice drops, and the court falls into the kind of silence that only follows the
when
unthinkable.
Patrick Clancy said, well, I can't wake them up, instead of just a singular.
And so when you went back inside, did you go back down the basement stairs?
Correct.
And this time, did you go to the left?
Yes.
So showing you a series of photographs. You could just tell me if they clearly and accurately reflect how the left side of the basement looked on January 24th, 2023 when you went in there.
Right, just for the record, they don't need to lay a foundation. I agree to the photographs, no objection to any of them, so we don't have to go through all the
All right,
foundations.
thank you. All right.
You recognize those?
Yes.
Could I just mark this the next exhibits, please? Exhibits 95 to 102. The mark.
Thank you.
Sure. So showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 95. Is this what you saw when you went down the stairs and went to the left, that first view?
Yes.
And then showing you Exhibit 96. Is that a further view as you go into the room?
Yes.
Now, when you went into that room, what did you see?
There were two children on the floor, motionless, and EMTs and paramedics were working on them.
And did you later learn that those children were Cora Clancy and Callan Clancy?
Yes.
And when Patrick Clancy said, I can't wake them up instead of just a singular. And so when you went back inside, did you go back down the basement stairs, correct? And this time, did you go to the left? Yes. So, showing you a series of photographs. Just for the record, I don't need to lay a foundation. I agree to the photographs. No objection to any of them. So we don't have to go through all. All right. Thank you. Yes. The next, please. Exhibits 95. Thank you. So, showing you and marked as Exhibit 95. Is this what you saw when you went down the stairs and went to the left? That first view? Yes. And then showing you Exhibit 96. Is that a further view as you go into the room? Yes. Now, when you went into that room, what did you see? There were two children on the floor motionless and EMs and paramedics were working on them. And did you later learn that those children were Cora Clancy and Ken Clancy? Yes. 3 words again. He couldn't argue up. The plural was the clue that sent Hall back down the stairs. This time you turn left. 2 more children. Children, motionless. Paramedics already working, but the scene tells its own clock. How long had those small bodies been without air while their mother lay outside with paper, thin cuts that had already stopped bleeding? And the timeline tightens like a thriller. Every second between the scream and the first small chest compression ticks louder than the last. What was the window of opportunity and who
Yes, I
What
did.
closed it?
did you see when you looked up?
There was an open window with blood marks around the window.
And did you also see blood marks on the shingles below that window?
I did.
Showing you a photograph here. So up at the top, is this the open window you're referring to?
Yes.
Zooming in on the shingles here to the left and right, just below that window, are those the blood marks you're referring to?
Yes.
And here in this photograph, you had mentioned blood marks on the upper window. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
And then here at the top of the lower window, these marks here, are those the other blood marks that you saw?
Yes.
If we could have.
While you were out there with the defendant were medical staff, paramedics treating her. Yes. And did you happen to look up? Yes, I did. What did you see when you looked up? There was an open window with blood marks around the window. And did you also see blood marks on the shingles below that window? I did. Showing you a photograph here. So up at the top, is this the open window you're referring to? Yes. Zooming in on the shingles here to the left and right just below that window. Are those blood marks you were referring to? Yes. And here in this photograph, you had mentioned blood marks on the upper window. Is that what you're referring to? Yes. And then here at the top of the lower window, these marks here. Are those the other blood marks that you saw? Yes, the open window. Blood on the glass, blood on the shingles. A vertical axis connecting Lindsay Clancy's body in the yard to the basement where her children lay. The evidence doesn't scream, but it whispers a sequence that requires no confession. And while paramedics worked, Hall did the only thing left to do. He stood over the defendant and kept placing an oxygen mask back on her face. She kept taking it off.
What did you do next?
I just went over to the paramedic, asked what I can help him with. He said she was good, but she kept taking her face mask off for oxygen, and so I just kept replacing it back onto her face.
And when you say she, are you referring to Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
And did you then help them get the stretcher to the ambulance?
Yes.
I have
What did
nothing
you do
further.
next? I just went over to the paramedic, asked what I can help him with. He said she was good, but she kept taking her face mask off for oxygen. And so I just kept replacing it back onto her face. And when you say she, are you referring to Lindsay Clancy? Yes. And did you then help them get the stretcher to the ambulance? Yes, a detail so small it almost escapes notice. The woman who had allegedly taken 3 lives kept removing the mask that was meant to save hers. Officer Hall, having just carried 1 child out and witnessed 2 more motionless on the floor, simply replaced it. Over and over. Professionalism as a form of shock.
Thank you for your incredible service.
Thanks.
All right. Sir, you may step down. Thank you.
Thank you for your incredible service. All right. Sure, you may step down. Thank you, thank you. He couldn't wake them up. That phrase is now part of the public record, like the exercise bands, the open gate, the blue, purple skin. But there's one document you should see for yourself, Exhibit 96, the photograph of the left basement room. It's in the court file. Go find it. Then answer this in the comments. Based on the position of the children, what does it tell you about the final minutes inside 47 Summer Street? Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell on Law and Crime Insiders. We'll be here when the next exhibit hits the docket.